Okay, panelists, it's almost stage time, and you are wondering, okay, so what are some final tips that I need to know, Kristen? I am Kristen Arnold. I am a master facilitator and a leading authority on moderating panel discussions, and I have watched hundreds of panel discussions. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some do's and don'ts. Okay, my first don't, panelists, is don't be passive. That means you do not have to wait until somebody asks you a question and then you answer it. You do not need to be nearly as polite as what most people think. I was talking to a project engineer about her role as a panelist, and I was saying, Susan, you really need to make it conversational. You can jump in, just like in a dinner table conversation, if you want to add something to what somebody has said, or if you want to politely disagree, respectfully disagree. And she goes, really? I didn't know you could do that. Many panelists have been trained that they simply answer the question that they've been asked. And that is what's called a ping pong match. I, as the moderator, ask panelist A a question. They answer the question. I then ask panelist B a question. They answer the question. Panelist C, you get the idea. I'm just playing ping pong. We're not having a discussion. And that's really what we want, is an active discussion. So do not be passive. So guess what the do is? Do be conversational, just like at the dinner table. You're having a conversation with a bunch of great friends, colleagues, super smart people in that topical space. So make it conversational and make sure that everybody is on that same sheet of music so that you actually don't look like the rude person who is interrupting them when they're expecting a ping pong match. Don't bluster. You know, the people who talk to think or spend an over amount of time expressing their viewpoint. What you do want to do is be concise. Come prepared with 3 talking points, 3 things, 3 headlines, maybe with an anecdote or a story or an example or a demonstration or a prop or something that illuminates that point that you're trying to make so that you can be concise and pertinent and that you'll have valuable takeaways for the audience. Come prepared. Do be concise and come prepared. Don't wing it. You know, I've seen a lot of panelists who don't do that preparation, who don't think about their 3 points. Basically, they just come in and I call it kind of show up and throw up. You know, I don't need to prepare. I know enough about my topic. Sure you do, but you haven't thought through what does the audience need to know about your topic. The people who are watching you don't need to know everything that you know. They need to know very specifically what takeaways, insights, stories that you can share that will make their lives better, safer, more efficient, give them more time, give them more love, give them more energy. Come prepared. Don't just wing it. So do be prepared. In fact, I wrote a whole book called The Powerful Panelist on how to be prepared. So it's not much preparation, but as I explained earlier, you do need to be prepared. Don't pontificate. Nobody likes to be lectured to. Well, unless you're the pontiff, nobody wants you to pontificate your extraordinary expertise. A little humility goes a long way. You can say, in my experience, this is how it's worked for me. I hope that you can learn some of these valuable experiences. Come from a place of humility as well as an ethos of sharing, as well as curiosity, because chances are you're going to learn something from your fellow panelists. One of my favorite questions to ask at the end of a panel is, so what did you learn here today? I'll ask the audience first, what did you learn here today? What are your key takeaways? And then I'll look at the panel and I'll say, so what did you learn here today? You can't do that if you're pontificating. What I do suggest you do is that you tag on. Be additive, not repetitive. So if you have a panelist who is saying something and you want to add to it, feel free to say, I agree with you, and. It's kind of like the improv game. Yes, and. Please do not be repetitive. Do not be repetitive. You do want to disagree respectfully. You know, a panel where everybody is saying yes and, yes and, yes and, kind of makes for a boring panel. Somewhere in there, there is some diversity of opinion, a little bit of disagreement, and those are the juicy bits. So it is fine if you want to disagree with somebody. In fact, I encourage it. But it's really about disagreeing with respectfulness, with curiosity, and not with heat, like somebody is right and somebody is wrong. This is your experience. Another panelist is fully expected to have a different experience, could have a similar experience, but handled it a little differently. That's where the interest comes in for a panel. So do disagree, but do it with respect. So let's take a moment here. Have you ever seen somebody just pontificate, blather on and on and on and on, and you wish either the panel moderator or a fellow panelist kind of cut them off or chimed in or did something? I want to hear about it. Just put it in the comments below. And what did that moderator or panelist do that was a way to get the ball moving around? I'd love that. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the like button on this video and even subscribe for other panel discussion tips. Don't be a contrarian. You know, just because you want to disagree doesn't mean you have to disagree with everybody and be a jerk about it. You know what I mean? And we've seen them on a panel. People who are like a dog with a bone. They will not let go of the fact that they are right and everybody else is wrong. What's the point of that? That's not being a good dinner guest. That's not being a good panelist. So don't be a contrarian. Another big no-no, big don't, is do not self-promote. It doesn't look good if you're hawking your wares. Buy my book, buy my service, come by my booth, go, like, look at me, come. No. You know, the best person to promote you is the panel moderator. If you want the audience to know that you have something that you think would be of value, let the panel moderator be your spokesperson, or the meeting organizer if they're introducing the panel. Or even better yet, your fellow panelists. If they've done their homework and they've researched who's going to be on the panel, they know who you are and they go, oh my gosh, I was reading your book and I discovered this great line. I love this line. They can promote you just as well, if not better, than you can. Here's another do. Be honest. Don't fake it. Don't fake it. Be honest. Like, if you read the book, if you thought it was a good line, honestly, bring it up. But if you thought it was a horrible book and you had nothing to say, don't say it. Like, that doesn't serve anyone. Be honest, be transparent, don't fake it. If you don't know the answer to a question, just go, I don't know the answer to the question, but I'll find out and I'll get back to you. Or I'll get back to the meeting organizer. Or if anybody wants to follow up with me, just send me an email. That's an easy way. If you don't have the answer to a question, it's okay. Have some good lines in your back pocket that you can steer people towards you giving them the ability to get that answer. Here's another don't. Don't get huffy. Be a nice person. Be friendly. Like, be a good panelist. There's no reason for you to get all huffy and upset over something. Things are going to happen. Murphy's Law will occur. Something will happen that you don't like. Maybe you're sitting in the wrong seat, or maybe the backdrop is a different color than you expected it to be. Or maybe you wanted your water to be still and not gassy. I don't know. Maybe you wanted your M&Ms to be green and not blue. I don't know. Don't get huffy. Just just roll with it, because you do want to be the easiest person to work with, because you know what happens when you are an easy panelist to work with? You get invited back, and you get invited to do other panels because you are a good human being. People like you. You did your preparation. You did your homework. You provided incredible value concisely and succinctly to the audience. What's not to like about that? So rather than getting huffy, enjoy yourself. Make some friends. Find some people in the audience that you didn't know. Mingle with them. You know, you never know who you're going to run into. So why not enjoy yourself? Why not check in with the panel moderator when you first get there? Check in with the meeting organizer. Let them know, I'm here, I'm good. Be timely when you're being told to show up the venue at a certain time. Get there 5 minutes early. Be a great human being to work with and not a prima donna. Oh, that's a good don't. Don't be a prima donna. So here's a good one. Here's a good don't. Don't think that nobody's looking. Just because the moderator is speaking or another panelist is speaking, this is not the time for you to pull out your cell phone and check your messages. This is not the time for you to ozone out and think about what you need to pick up at the grocery store on the way home from the panel. You should be giving the panelists, the moderator, the audience 100% of your attention. So please don't get distracted. It's only 45 minutes, an hour, maybe 75 minutes, 90 minutes tops. Give them your undivided attention, 100% of your attention. Finally, it's all about the audience. Be in service of the audience. This is not about you. This is about the audience. So think about the audience. Who's in the audience? What do they need to know? How can you provide a value, a service, an insight, a takeaway, your lessons learned, your experience? You know, when you pay attention to some of these do's and don'ts, you're going to knock it out of the park. It'll be great, and you'll be invited for other panels, and your reputation will skyrocket. You know, being a panelist, as you know, is more than just show up and throw up. I've put together a free checklist that you can download at www.powerfulpanels.com. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, the share button, and I just really appreciate you watching this video. Thanks.